Schoology users, welcome back to week 3, pulling in other resources. On our Zero to Hero Schoology course and day 18, how do I use a rubric? So what do you need for today? Well, you're just going to need a rubric that you would have already used that's on paper, and we're going to transition it over into Schoology. Now, this can be a bit annoying, so remember, you can always do the rubric on paper and they can still submit the assignment in Schoology. So, let's get started. Hey there, Schoology users. Today we're talking about rubrics. And we all use rubrics all the time in our teaching, but you can do it on Schoology too. This is something that I wouldn't say is a necessary. It is nice, but I wouldn't call it a necessary because you can always still do the rubric just on paper. It doesn't necessarily have to be done online. So if this is too much for you, you can wait. But it's not really that hard to do. So if we go down here, I'm just going to show you what it looks like first, and then we'll make one. So this is a project that I have added into my course here that I had done a while back. And it was an interior design thing that I had come up with. It actually ends up being a research paper. And what you'll see down here is a big old rubric. And the thing about rubrics is when you have a page or anything like this, I'm going to zoom out till you can see this entire page here real quick. And actually, I can't even get small enough so you can see it. It attaches to the bottom, okay? So as you can see, this rubric attached to the bottom, and it is rather large. Now, if I scroll to the bottom, there's also a little picture of it that shows it in a nicer setup. This was the writing across curriculum rubric that we had, and I did not add that in up here. I don't know if I did. Actually, I think I did. Yeah, writing conventions. So I did put that in, but that was a picture of what it looked like and what it says for our school. So if you want to add a rubric in, first off, you can do it on an assignment. All you're going to do, go to Edit, and instead of picking the numerical grading scale down here, where it says Scale Rubric, you're going to pick either a rubric that's pre-created, which you can grab out of your resources from your district if they have those for you, or you can create a new one. We're just going to look at this one to start. And the way that you look at it is with this button here. It pulls up the rubric like so. And when you go through, it does give you the heads up that if you change it, it's going to be updated across any assignment that it's on. So you can see that there's this criteria column, which is whatever it is. And here's the thing. If I add a learning objective, it also goes into that criteria column. So if I search transformations and I find describe a transformation using reflections, rotations, and translations. It's here somewhere, right? We're just going to grab this one for now. It's 6th grade, but, oh, here we go. There we go. Prove some generalizations, studying them. There's my high school standards. They might be Massachusetts, but they work. And we really want this one here. So if I add that learning objective, it actually shows up down here at the bottom. And if I was doing standards-based grading, I can use this to actually set that up. So you can change these points if you want. All you do is you add a little grading block and you can put whatever you want in there. I had it as 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I do always include a 0 because there's times where people just don't turn things in. And if I include a 0, then it's easy for me to just check, 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 check. If you want to get rid of something, you can. As you can see, they don't all have to be the same. You can add something anywhere. You can change this number to 0.25 if you want. It can really be whatever you want this rubric to be, you can have. So I'm going to get rid of those since they are not a thing for me. There we go. And there's my same rubric I had before. So that's basically it. If I add a criteria, it just adds a block and I can type in the title and the subheading for it and what it means. Remember that you want to always start with the highest thing in a rubric. You do not want to start with the lowest thing, and there's a reason for that. So if you think about it, when you're reading, you read from left to right. You want to make sure that they see the things that they need to do to be the best first, so that sticks. You don't want them to have to go all the way over to the right. So that is a rubric. We're going to now go make one. Okay, so I have just pulled up a new assignment, and I'm just going to call it rubric. I could put whatever I want in there. You don't actually have to have anything to use it. And then we're going to go down here to where it says scale rubric. We're going to create new, and you can see it's blank. So we give criteria and thing. Did they write something? Is it correct? And of course, all I have to do is click and add directions. If I want to rearrange these, just drag and drop. I can change these things over here. Plus, okay, so instead of that, we're going to make it 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0. And it will rearrange them if necessary, I believe. As you can see, it says what the total points are out of. And maybe I want to go grab a learning objective here. We're just going to grab a random English one. We'll grab a first grade one. We got a lot of first grade people. Here we go. With guidance and support, focus on topic, respond to questions. There we go. And you can see it automatically fills it in on the grading scale that I was using more often, or the row above. Again, I can drag and drop. Total points is over here. It'll add them up for you. So whatever you want to be out of, that's how you can structure the rubric. Really actually quite simple to make. They're just a pain in the butt when you're first setting them up if you don't use them all the time. So rubric, example, give it a name so that you can use it across your courses if you want. And there we go. So now I'm just going to toss a category on here, do this, something, just so that it's there. You could toss a due date on there. And that's it. As you can see, though, this actually has learning objectives across the bottom, though. So when you use the rubric, it will automatically align it to the learning objectives, which if you do end up using the mastery settings in an enterprise account, as you can see, it's not over here on the left-hand side. But in an enterprise account, they have a thing called mastery settings. It will tag to those and allow you to do that standard space grading that a lot of people are doing right now. So now let's see when somebody turns something in, how do you grade it? So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. If you look on my screen right now, you'll see I have a reminder for one ungraded assignment submission called Rubric. I could click there to navigate to it. I can also just go to that course, and this was something I didn't get to show because I accidentally graded it. Over here on the right, if you refresh those reminders, you'll see your ungraded assignment there. Anytime something is graded, you do get a notification. If you mark something as missing, you will not get a notification if they turn it in, so I don't tend to use that feature. Now, as you can see here, there is a submission from Ms. H, and all you're going to do is you're going to click on that to grade it. And you'll see that here's the setup. Since I happen to have the ability to grade with Cami, I could have that set up if I had done it through there. If I want to draw on it, write on it, I have all those normal features. But this time we have a rubric. So when you click it, it pops out like this. But if, let's say, you know your rubric really well, you can make it smaller and then just click the button. You can also set it into the side. Now I'm going to give you a heads up. If you accidentally hit the X button, it will delete all of your rubric out. And I have done that more times than I can count. So if you're going to use this, keep that in mind. Now, if I open the full rubric, it'll tell me all the things going on here, and I can look at this and say, well, that was horrible grammar, so that's 1 point. We got some spelling errors. Did they write something, though? Yeah, they wrote something. And with guidance and support from adults, focus on topic, respond to questions and suggestions from peers. It doesn't look like any of that went on, so that's definite needs improvement. As you can see here, it is 1, 1, and 4, and it calculated. Now, next to each of these items, I can add a comment. So it doesn't appear there was any peer feedback. For correct grammar errors. And of course you'd be nicer than this. I like pulling apart my own writing. Yay, you wrote something, or nothing. You don't have to put anything there. And then all you're going to do is hit save. It will automatically pop up here. And if you click the little comment thing, you can hit show to student. And then they're going to be able to go in and see how they did. So please see feedback. Submit. And that's how easy it is to go through and use a rubric. I think they're a bit of a pain in the butt because of this drop-down menu, and I prefer to just type the number in. However, you can. Now, there is one other thing that you can do, and you can do a score override. So if you had the ability to give some bonus points, if there was something that, if it's late, it's 10% off, I can just type a score in here and it overrides whatever the rubric calculated, but they still get to see that rubric. So, I hope this helped. I hope, rubrics seem like something that may help you, especially down that elementary level. And I hope you continue to enjoy as we get into a lot more advanced stuff in the coming weeks. So, remember, like, share, subscribe, and have a great day. Bye-bye.